Yeah, so this is not good. I've lost cooling in my SX4, yeah, again, and this is not right. Okay, so the air conditioning is actually currently off, guys. Although the engine is running, the compressor is not running. So the pressures, as you may expect, are balanced. So I've got my missus in the car there. I'll just get her to turn the compressor on. Keep an eye on the pressures. So low side pressure takes a dive, as you might expect. That basically didn't move anywhere. Maybe a few pounds. Yeah, that's not right. Clearly. Restriction on the high side. Perhaps the compressor itself is tough. The compressor did engage, as you could see. You can hear probably the clutch engage, and obviously the pressures wouldn't change if it wasn't. I don't know. Thermostatic expansion valve stuck now because it's contaminated. So one other important observation here. So just raise the RPM, Lisa, just about to 2,000. That's heading towards the negative. That's heading towards 0 in at the negative, and again, no change at all on the high side. Something's restricted. Okay. That is really hot. That's about normal. And that is ambient. You hear that coming through the compressor? I think this compressor has grenaded itself and has contaminated the system. Oh, yeah, that's not good. High side, low side. Both cases, high side restriction, expansion valve stuck, so that's a high side restriction. So so that scenario there looks quite close to what I have. Blockage in the system. Okay, so where and why? Has a new condenser coil. I'm quite certain there's no leaking. Thoroughly tested that with respect to both pressure and vacuum, so I'm pretty certain it's not leaking, and it does look like a blockage. There appears to be quite a temperature drop across the condenser coil, the compressor discharge in and the liquid line out. There's quite a differential in temperature there. Could it be there? There's also quite a differential temperature across the expansion valve between the liquid line and the suction line. Is it there? Is that clicking noise actually the clutch? As we've seen, that was not in good shape. Or is it the compressor itself? And that clicking is only present after the system has been operating for a wee while, so I assume the compressor is starting to overheat. So what to do with a car that's effectively beyond economical repair with respect to its air conditioning? I don't know, but you know, when you read in books and it tells you if you suspect a compressor failure, change the condenser, change the thermostatic expansion valve, flush the evaporator. That's starting to make a lot more sense to me now. That seemed like overkill to me when I was just reading it, and you know, when you're faced with the economics of those repairs, you think, oh man, let's go one step at a time. This is potentially where you end up if you go one step at a time. The work will be undone by the disintegration of the components within the system. Embarrassing for me to admit this, but the reality is that seems to be the case. So I'm 53 years old now, guys. I'm way past my ego. If you can learn something for this video, take it into consideration. Sometimes cheaping out is ultimately going to cost you money, or you end up with an air conditioning system that's completely inoperative. One of the two. Think it through. That's it, boys. For now. Cheers. We'll leave that out for the meantime, shall we?